All right, you guys, welcome to our continuing education class. It's Tuesday, April 15th, big tax day. So maybe this is a perfect timing to have this class. Whether you're watching us live or watching the recording, we're super appreciative of you taking the time to learn and grow with us in our knowledge for essential oils and how to use them. The last thing we ever want is for you to have something in your closet or have something in your toolbox and not know what to do with it. So tonight, you guys, we're going to discover and learn more about mood and emotional well-being. And I can just share with you guys from the very beginning, it's like this is the number one thing that drew me to doTERRA. I will never forget going through an experience where I was having these emotional swings, and it got to the point where it was affecting um, my body physically, and I would have these little itches that would come into my face, and within 5 minutes or less, I could feel my eyes swelling shut, and I would have this really big emotional thing happened to me, and I knew deep in my heart that it wasn't just allergies, it wasn't just all these other things, it was my emotions. So I became on a quest of what can I use that will not hurt or harm my body, because my experience was over years and years of standing in the aisle at the grocery stores going, okay, well, what can I take now? Like, I need this one to sleep, I need this one to wake up, I need this one for all these different things. And then the side effects were, my hair feeling like it was growing, or I couldn't sleep at night, I couldn't turn my mind off, I was super irritable. And not to mention that when I would have these attacks, I could feel it kind of going through my face. And within, like I said, about 5 minutes, my eyes would be completely swollen shut, and it would last for a couple of days. Now, the backside of that was I did everything that I possibly could. I was going to different medical professionals, and some of them were giving me drops to put in my eyes to numb my eyes. Others were I was taking shots and doing all these different things. And you guys, the worst part about all of it was I wasn't getting any better. So I knew something had to change, and that is when I was introduced to doTERRA, and I'm so grateful that I've been able to not only use this for my family and my friends, but to be able to hang out with people who are like-minded and continue to learn and grow myself. Every day, you guys, I learn something new, it seems like. And so I want to invite you guys to be open to what else is possible and what are some of the things that we can do for each other, because I know that my story may be different than yours, or maybe your story isn't at all like mine, but we might have something in common as we get going. So I want to bring your attention to this first slide. And this one is, if you look to the far left, it's choose an emoji of how you feel right now. Now, the interesting thing about this chart is there's a lot of times when we have been in this roller coaster of life, and we've been taught over time to just silence what our feelings are. That we need to just put that down. Don't worry about it. Don't complain about it. Just pull up your big pants and let's go. And so we've become numb to some of these different emotions. And yet a child can look at this chart and say, oh yeah, this is you, mom. This is you, dad. This is how I feel. And it really gives us a great place of how and where to start. Now, why does it matter? Well, because some of us, you guys, we don't understand, how are we feeling or why are we feeling that way? And so hopefully tonight, our goal, Diane is here, she's going to help co-teach with me. And our goal here tonight is to help give some solutions. Maybe it is being open to what else is possible, what else are some of the things that we can do? Because if you look on the right-hand side of this, over time, if we don't pay attention to our emotions, they will start wreaking havoc on our body parts. And I can be first to witness that there are a lot of different times when people will say, I've got this, I've got this. And it's like, okay, well, have you experienced any of that? And maybe where's your stress? Tell me on a scale from 1 to 10, where's your stress? Oh gosh, I'm always in a stress. And I had a really interesting conversation with somebody this week, and she said, I think I've been living in so much stress and chaos that it seems normal. Can anybody relate to that? It's like, I just feel like my life is always just in uproar. And so I don't even know what a non-stress, peaceful life is. And I said, well, let's work on it. Let's find things that we can do where each day we might be able to change our mindset or do something just a little different. Now, in the center of this, it shows you some of the things that how can stress show up in your body. Well, most people, first thing, shoulders, lower back. I mean, where do you feel it in your body? Or do you have, head tension? Or maybe you're internalizing everything and your gut is upset and always feeling like there's a roller coaster or different things. So, you guys, what is the cost if nothing changes and everything stays the same? And so as we go into the next part of this class, I want you to just consider what can change, even if it's just a little bit. Diane, you want this one or you want me to take it?
This is yours.
Okay, all right, you guys. So, I mean, here's some hard facts. And as you're watching the news, and if you're just even in your own local communities, you can probably relate to the suicide rate has gone up. And not only has the suicide rate gone up, but it's much, much younger people who are having, who are dealing with this. And so, what if we could help somebody, just one person? And I want you guys to remember to use your voices and to use your awareness. Because if you know somebody's struggling or maybe having a hard time or maybe just seem a little down, let's add that little bit of sunshine and that happiness and let's bring them up. Now, over 284 million people suffer from anxiety or some kind of a disorder worldwide. And I want you to also take a look at that number. It's a huge number. And those are the ones that are reported. Now, I can look in my circle of friends and family and coworkers and people that I work with on a regular basis. And I know many of them, including myself, should probably be one of those people who have reported, okay, I have really big highs and really deep lows. And it's something that I get to work on a regular basis. And so those are the ones that are reported. Well, how about the ones that are not reported? And then substance use is responsible for over 11 million different deaths annually. And so even today, you guys, this afternoon, I'm here at work and I'm, just, going along my business and I have a gal come in and she said, I almost overdosed this week. And I'm looking for something and I'm looking for anything that can help me naturally be able to, hold it together and to find the strength to be able to, get back to where I want to be because I want to be happy. I want to find the light. And I'm like, oh, girl, if you're here and you're willing to listen and, let me just kind of talk to you about a few things. And you guys, and it is serious. And I also want to make the disclaimer that I'm just a mom. I'm just a person. I'm just like you guys. And I have studied these essential oils a lot, and I have studied mental wellness a lot. And so we just get to be aware of how do we get to show up? Like, what do we get to do in our lifestyles and in our, our everyday things so that we can, show things different. Now, in the center here is a picture of David R. Hawkins. You guys write his name down and go Google search him. And he does a lot of really great studies and awareness of where is, where are most of the people? Are we living the best life possible? Are we high vibing and, radiating light? Or are we, sad and depressed and down? And I want you to see that there's a change here in the chart from the top to the bottom. And I also want to remind you guys that we're not ever going to take somebody from feeling completely guilty about any kind of decision that they've made, or maybe the way that they've answered something or the way they showed up for work, and turn them into somebody who has peace and joy and enlightenment with just the smell of an essential oil. But what if our goal is to help just learn how to navigate, okay, I feel guilty about, or I feel, a shame. And shame, you guys, is the probably the lowest vibrating emotion that there is. And what if we can help them just one level, one step, give them a little tiny bit of hope or a little bit of, support? Or how about if we just change the way we're thinking? And you guys, this is why I love the work that I get to do on a regular basis, because I do study the essential oils and I do know that their vibration is different. So I want you to think of music. And when you're listening to a song in the radio and you just want to sing and dance, and there's songs here at the store when the certain songs are on, everybody in here is singing and they're all happy. And the same thing can happen with a sadder song, or maybe it's a church song, or maybe it's a song that you heard, when you lost a friend or something. And so the essential oils have that same type of a vibration, which can add and change our frequency. So essential oils, basically what they do, and we're going to go on to this next one, is they change the way that we process and we receive information. So just one drop of essential oil can impact 40 million trillion molecules in our body. And when I saw this tonight, and I'm going, oh, well, that looks like the amount of money that it's spending on healthcare. And are we healthier because of it? No. So what do we get to do? We get to take a look at them and understand how it is that they work. They are super dynamic in the way that they are able to help to support our body physically and emotionally. And the thing that I love most is think of each one of the essential oils as this little messenger that disrupt any kind of message that you might be feeling. You might be having this really sad feeling going on, or maybe, you have pain, because I love you guys. If you're watching our Good Vibes group right now, we just posted yesterday about Scott Johnson and how the essential oils can actually work on pain the same way that they can help to serve our bodies with emotions. And, you can recall a memory, you can disrupt an old memory, and you can change a thought process just with the scent of essential oil. Okay, Diane?
All right, so here's a really, really profound statement. The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. So in drops essential oils, because they can help us change that mindset. All right, so how does it work? All right, so the essential oils, when you inhale them, and you can do it a couple of different ways. You can just put drops in your hand and then breathe it in, okay, through your nose, or you can put it like in a diffuser. You can wear it on your person, like on diffuser jewelry. You can do all of those, do it in any way that you wish, whatever works best for you. But what happens is, as we inhale it, then our brain's olfactory center identifies those molecules, and then that activates the amygdala, which is the area of the brain where our emotions and our memories, all those things are stored. And so this is totally different than verbal or written communication, because those memory, those scents that our brain registers, they stimulate it and they disrupt and they change our way of thinking. So just think of those essential oils as these little tiny, they are molecules, and they come in and they're just like little messengers, and they're going to help us to deregulate our thinking and regulate it in a positive way. All right, so how do they do that? They activate the limbic system, which awakens or releases all those emotions and those memories that are stored within us. All right, so the emotions are stored there, memories, our hormones, our autonomic influence. And so this system has the ability to access memories that have been embedded in us since childhood. Think about like when you walk into a room, and let's say you just got home and you smell chocolate chip cookies. Okay, that takes you into that place of warmth and comfort. So this is the part of the brain that we want to activate so that we can create those positive memories and those positive experiences so that they can influence us in that positive way.
So you guys, this slide here, and I want to just remind you guys that the reason that we keep doing this, and we're telling you guys again and again kind of how it works, is the importance of how quickly you can change your experience. One of the first things that I do when somebody comes to me, if they're sad or upset or whatever it is they're going through, it doesn't matter, is put your hand out, put a few drops of the oil in the hand, because as soon as you start to smell that, it changes the aromatic anchor that you're experiencing. So whether it is from trauma or whether it's from a good memory or a bad memory, those our life, right? And they start hitting those receptor sites, and then you start getting those messages. So we also have layers and layers and layers of different trauma and different things that might have happened in our lives. And so why so if a memory comes up and it's maybe a little uncomfortable or a little sticky or something, then it's going to take a little bit of practice of putting, the oil on, and those affirmations, just like what Diane read earlier, is just like we have to choose, or we get to choose, what is our response going to be? What is the experience we're going to be? So I remember when I was a little girl, going to a funeral and riding in the back seat of a car, and the song, it seems like the same song played over and over and over. And so later on, when I was, a few years later or whatever, I would hear that song come on, and every time I would hear that song, it would take me back to that moment in the car on the way to the funeral and whatever was happening and the conversation that was going on between my parents. And so years forward, right now, if I hear a song like that today, I instantly say, okay, wait, I got to rewrite that message. I want to rewrite the experience. And so I might get something out like, wild orange or passion or, breathe. And I put it in my hands and I smell it, and here it's showing all the things. So it goes in from the nose into the receptor sites, into the olfactory bulb. And then which part of the memory does it go to? Well, it's going to trigger something new. And then I am happy, and I make that affirmation of I want something different. And I want to rewrite that. So here's a great example of when we're, just thinking or talking about. So if I asked you guys all to close your eyes right now, and I'm going to show you the power of aroma. You close your eyes, and I want you to envision yourself picking up a lemon and putting your nails into it and peeling back the skin. Now, I don't know about you, but even just talking about it, my mouth is watering because my mind knows what that lemon smells like. Other things are, memory recall of, I heard this song and it reminded me of a time. So we can change those, whether they're good, bad, or in between. But I would love to rewrite and make those things that might have been a little bit uncomfortable, especially as a child, into something new. Now, another question that comes up, you guys, is, but I can't smell anything. How many of you guys know someone, or maybe experience yourself, not being able to have that sense of smell? Some people have a dis-ease that's called anosmia, which means that they can't smell at all. And sometimes it's from birth, sometimes it happens from trauma or different things. Well, happy to know that when those, Diane's showing you how those molecules go into our brain and start to work, our body will automatically react, whether we can smell it or not. That's the good news, because we can do all kinds of things with our bodies because our sense of smell is 10,000 times stronger and is more sensitive than any of our other senses. So when we have something that we want to change a little bit, guess what? We have the ability to just decide and then start working towards what else would I like to have instead. It is the number one fastest way to change your mood or to affect an emotional something that's going on. So I love doing aroma touches. I don't know if any of you guys know what that is. And we also have a class that teaches that, but I've had my hands on people before, and I've been doing the aroma touch, and they will just start crying. And it's like, okay, so there's an emotion that just got released for some reason. None of my business. I usually just let it be. But at the same time, I can take an essential oil, so like a citrus, and I could let them smell it, and it could change whatever's going on just in an instant. And I love that our sense of smell is so effective in how it responds.
Let me take this.
Sure.
All right, so this is our adaptive system, and I absolutely love this system. doTERRA came out with it a couple of years ago in response to, I believe, in response to things that were going on in our country. And so this is the adaptive blend. It's also known as the calming blend, and it comes in 3 different forms. Okay, so on the left-hand side, you'll see the adaptive touch and the adaptive oil. So whenever you have the adaptive, any kind of essential oil in a roller ball that says touch, that means it's safe for everybody to use in your family. Okay, so the 2 on the left, you're going to want to either diffuse or put it on topically or inhale it. Okay, and so these are going to help with our behavior, our thoughts, our emotion. This is our limbic system. Okay. So this is just our, we're going to want to just breathe those in. We're not going to take those internally. All right. And you can see the essential oils that are listed on the left and what they're good for. So lavender, neroli, magnolia, and sweet gum are great for stress relief. Then we have the wild orange and spearmint, which then uplifts our mood, and then copaiba and rosemary to just help soothe us overall. All right. So then we look at the adaptive capsules, which help us systemically. So we can take those internally, and it's a different formula, as you can see from the list of ingredients, but some of the same ones. So again, we have lavender, wild orange, and we have coriander and fennel. Those are to help relieve stress. And then we have for calming, I'm going to butcher this one, scutilium and GABA, and then the omegas, which are absolutely essential for our brain health, and that's the ahi flower for the omegas. So this is amazing. If you are dealing with any sort of stress, you can take adaptive capsules 2, 3 times a day. Some people take it also to help with sleep. They'll add on the copaiba and serenity, which you see listed over here. All right, so I'm just going to throw in a little personal testimonial about the adaptive. So we live in a little tiny town, and my daughter lives in the Salt Lake area. And so whenever I'm driving to Salt Lake, and as soon as I'm getting close to the freeway, as soon as I get to Salt Lake City, I'm putting adaptive. I'm breathing in adaptive because it just helps me to just kind of just settle into, okay, I'm hitting tons of traffic. And it just takes that edge off for me. I'm a very confident driver, but this just helps me just be a little bit more calm and a little more relaxed. So again, stick it in your hands, breathe it in, get it on your pulse point, stick it in the diffuser, whatever way that works for you. Um, all right, so as we mentioned before, the adaptive capsules, you can take those internally. And then we have two other ones. We have Copaiba soft gels and Serenity soft gels. And both of those are also meant to help support our nervous system and to calm us down. Serenity is usually used for sleep, but I've taken it during the day. I'm a retired teacher, and I've been known to take any and all of these just to help soothe me, calm me, and help me deal with whatever's going on emotionally in my life.
I also want to point out, you guys, that the adaptive touch and oil blend are different than the adaptive capsule, and the same goes for Serenity, because Serenity also comes in a 15 ml bottle, and it's a different formula than the capsules. I am a huge believer of all of these. I use them often. Anytime I feel a little bit of anxiousness, or say I'm getting ready to go into a meeting and it's going to be a little bit sticky or exciting, I might take a Serenity and pop it in my mouth. I know, and one of the most frequent questions we get about Serenity and adaptive is, well, gosh, I don't want to be sleepy. Like, is it going to make me tired and make me yawn during the meeting? And it doesn't do that. So it'll just kind of take the edge off. And it's all, botanicals and essential oils. So it's 100% safe. And just like I was sharing with you guys earlier, is the gal that I had in here who had relapsed and how she's out. I'm going, these are 100% safe for you to be able to take. There's nothing in them that are addictive and nothing that can give you bad side effects. So make sure that, if you're, take screenshots as we're going along so that you guys can remember some of these amazing products that we have. Okay, I'm going to talk about Shinrin Yoku. So this one is our forest bathing blend. This is one that I absolutely have fallen in love with. I use it often. Again, we have the roller bottle, which I like to carry in my purse sometimes and just wear it as perfume. I call it pure fume, and I can change whatever I'm experiencing. Or in some cases, if the smells are a little strong for somebody, I always recommend putting them on the bottoms of your feet and then put your socks on or your shoes on. You still get the benefits. Another thing that I love to do with this, so if I have a small child or something, I might put it on down their spine or on the inside of their underwear band so that when they put that on, they're getting the benefits of those essential oils, but not having to, necessarily smell like the oil. Now, this is an amazing blend of lemon, patchouli, magnolia. I mean, all of these oils are grounding, very rooting, very serene, if you will. And you guys, we have many, many times when life is just so hectic and we're on electronics all day long and we're, on computers and then screens. And we really need to be able to get back into nature and having that true peace, grounding, and calmness. So what they found with this blend is it's able to, change your blood pressure. It helps to just have that calm memory. You can read through here and see some of the other benefits. So what I did with this when I first got it is I love going to our canyon. So I went up to the canyon, I got the essential oil out, I put it on, I put it in the palms of my hand, took a few deep breaths, and then I just sat on the ground and I took a short little video of the trees and the river. And so why I did that is because when I come home and I need that grounding and I need that peaceful environment, I turn on that video and I take the oil out and I smell it. And that smell has been anchored to that experience. So in like 1 minute or less, I can take myself to that place. And it's amazing how quickly I can turn around whatever it was that I was experiencing into something more peaceful and calm.
Oh, these ones are amazing. So this is our emotional aromatherapy collection, and doTERRA was brilliant when they created these because all you have to do is look at the labels and you'll know what they're for. So from motivate to help us with if we're feeling stagnant and maybe unmotivated, this would be the one to go to. Cheer. I mean, I don't really even have to go through these because all you have to do is look at the label, right? I absolutely love cheer and motivate together because I love one because it gets you going and then the other one makes you happy about going, right? Passion, just what it says. It's great for if you need to get serious about something, get things done, or you want to just feel a little bit more passionate about whatever it is that you're having to deal with. Forgive and console, those two have all of these have very powerful oils, but those two together, whenever anyone's dealing with things, I often give them these two together because console is like a big hug. And oftentimes, whatever's going on might be rooted in something that we're taking on. So forgive is really good to then take us to a place of, you know what, it's not about me. I'm okay and I forgive myself, etc. Okay. So that one's like really super for that. Peace is just it just calms you down. I love putting that on my forehead before I go to bed, especially if I have a lot of things on my mind. It'll just help me just let go of all of that.
You
Now,
guys,
these
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, these also come in touch. So these bottles come in the 5 ml bottles. And so you can diffuse all of those. Of course, you can put them on you as well, but they also come in a touch just for your information.
Gosh, Diane, the only thing I was going to add is a lot of times people say, well, where do we put them? So with emotional oils, whenever you have that emotional trigger, you want to get them into your limbic system and you want to be able to smell and breathe them. But beyond that, Diane gave you a great tip with peace of mind. So being able to have, gosh, I want more peace of mind. I want more peace in my heart. I want more peace in my life. Okay, well, if I want more peace in my life, I may be diffusing it for not only myself, but everyone around me. Peace of mind across the forehead, back of the neck, behind the ears, like you would perfume. That forgive. So here's a fun thing with forgive is there's a lot of people who recently seem to be having a irritable cough and congestion and things going on in their chest. Well, I think of forgive and chest and breathing and being able to put that right over your heart area and how it will support all of those things. And yeah, I mean, I think if you just remember, get them out, get them on you, smell them, remind yourself. And I'm just going to say this also is sometimes people will say, "Oh yeah, I put it on yesterday." Well, you may still need it today too. Or like this gal that I was assisting earlier, I said, every time you feel that, and it might be every 10 minutes, it might be every hour, it might be every, just you're going to need to remind your mind that it's something that we're trying to achieve. And so that means less oil more often. We did kind of talk about forgive. So when they had a study done in a nonprofit oncology center, they put all of these emotional oils out, and they just said freely use them. Which one are you more attracted to? And forgive was the number one essential oil that people were attracted to. And like Diane stated a few minutes ago, it's like whether it's to forgive a situation, forgive yourself, forgive, whatever. Yeah, I mean, this one has bergamot, which is for self-acceptance, has juniper berry, which is really great for night terrors or the what if. I always call juniper berry the what if. Well, what if this happens? What if that happens? Well, what if it doesn't? It's like, okay, well, let's think of something a little bit different. And then, of course, arbor vitae thyme. These are really, really great. And I highly encourage you guys, if you haven't already gotten these, get them. And if you do have them, get them out and use them.
This essential oil, and just like all of the ones that we're talking about, these are just so, so powerful. I mean, frankincense, patchouli, both of those are very, very grounding. Sandalwood, ylang ylang is the oil of the inner child. So this brings us back to when we were young and everything, we were carefree because we didn't have any worries. And then rose is the highest vibration oil out there. And so this essential oil, if you don't know what to put on, try pulling this one out and see how you do. You can look, it helps with sadness, disappointment, grief. It's just, like I said, it's a big hug. Just think of it as a big hug in the bottle.
I think everybody needs this from time to time. Okay, so you guys, before the emotion oils, we had our mood oils. And so I love this chart because so balance was my gateway oil. It was the one that I carried in my pocket forever because of all of the things that I had shoved down and just that, my face was literally, shutting my eyes and things like that. Is when I would take it out and I just naturally put it in my hands, I would smell it and then I would rub it across my chest. And I swear it was just like this big, huge, deep breath sigh. Oh, it's going to be okay. And so I don't even know why, but I instinctively said, I want it with me all the time. And if you work with children at all, they're drawn to this and they will automatically know which ones to pull. You can just say, pick the one you need, and they'll reach in the bag and they'll pull it out. And sure enough, if you get curious about it, it is the one that they need. I love them because whether you're feeling sad or anxious or hopeless or withdrawn, I mean, these are more about I'm actually acting out. Like I'm super angry and I'm getting, very loud and things. And so these are ones that you can put on to kind of soften those moods. And I love them. So they have completely different than the emotion oils. I love that we've added a rise to this one because what are we arising to? Like I want to have things change and going from hopeless or despair or there's nothing that can work out to, gosh, what else is possible? Maybe we can make this happen. And being able to just open it up, smell it right from the bottle. And a lot of times, you guys, if you work in a work environment or in an office or something where you can't have essential oils, I say carry the bottle, open it up, smell, take a big old whiff of it, put the lid back on and put it back in the drawer, but do it and do it as often as you possibly need to.
All right, so I just want to throw one thing. You mentioned just opening the bottle and just smelling it. That's my husband's favorite way to use the essential oils so that they can impact him aromatically because he's not a big fan of putting it on him, but which is fine. But that's what he does. He'll just stand there and just breathe it in and it works. All right, so now let's talk about the all these tools right here. So we have a book and it's called Essential Emotions, and it is a amazing resource. If you don't own it, you might look into it. There's also an app. And so basically what it is it's a tool for us to use to help us figure out how we're feeling and what essential oils and what other tools we can use to help change how we're feeling. So, for example, um, let's say that you are feeling anxious. So you can look it up on either the emotion wheel or in the book, and then it'll show different essential oils that will target that. And then, in addition to that, and it gives you several choices of essential oils. So if you don't have a big collection at the moment, it gives you several choices that you can choose from. And then it'll take you through, it'll give you some, it'll tell you where to apply it. It'll also ask you some questions to think about, and then it'll give you an affirmation that you can then connect with that essential oil and help you to then change your mindset, change your mood, change things that are going on at the moment.
I think if you guys read this and you know me, you're going to know why I have used this essential oil since I started with doTERRA 14 years ago. It is really, truly one of my favorite ones. And I think it's because, whether I'm using it in my bath water, because I love to just take a cup of Epsom salt, I'll put the essential oil in there and I just, hot water. You can do it as a foot soak. Now they have come up with a Serenity kit. And what they have found that when people use all three parts of it, so whether it's the essential oil, the stick, and the Serenity gel caps, that they've been able to take years off of their life, believe it or not, the studies and the science shows it, that it is, just being able to be more calm. And because we live in a high pace, everything that we do is supposed to be quick and easy, not quick and easy. It's supposed to be quick and effective and, more. And so we get to just like say, okay, wait, I'm going to take a time out for a second. And I love these and I love that you can target what you want to feel more of or less of. Now, bergamot is another really great essential oil. This one is actually a citrus, even though when you smell it, it's a little bit more earth smelling. But I love it because here's part of it. What do you want to feel more of? What would you like to feel less of? Well, if you're feeling super, you're self-judging or you feel unloved or people are, picking on you and that kind of thing. And you really want to feel more confident and hopeful and that you are good enough. Well, bergamot would be a great one to get out. You can put it in your diffuser and just have it surrounding you because when we're diffusing oils, you guys, it's not only getting for us, but it's getting everybody in that area. And it's like a constant oil drop, just constantly feeding your emotion. Another thing that you can do is because this is a citrus, it is one of the ingredients in tea. I can't remember. Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the tea. Earl Grey. There we go. And so it has a little bit of a bitterness to it. But if you read here, gosh, you guys, it invites individuals to see life with more optimism, and gets rid of stagnant feelings of limiting beliefs. And so back to who and what do I want my experience to be? This is really, really great. And being able to work on your self-acceptance, and that's where it starts, right? Okay. For you to change, you must change your routine and your thoughts. If we continue to do the things every single day that we've always done, we're going to get the same results. That's a famous quote and it's true. And so, what I want you guys to think of is pick essential oils that resonate or speak to you. And getting just a little bit deeper with that is, gosh, if you're looking at your oil bag, or maybe you'll see a post, or you'll be reading through our new recipe book and seeing something, and you're going, gosh, why do I keep seeing that? Why do I keep seeing that? Well, get curious about it and learn more about it because I promise that it's probably something that you're needing, or maybe it's just exactly what you're wanting to get some support. And the opposite part of that is if you're rejecting something, I would get curious as to, are you open to it? Are you open to the benefits and the emotional support that it may offer you? You guys, and like I mentioned earlier, some of us need to use them minutely, there's a new word for you, every minute, or, very often. Maybe it's every 20 or 30 minutes. Maybe it's every hour. but we need to have those constant reminders of what is it that we're working towards. And then I want to remind you guys that, just being able to express your feelings, whether you're putting words down on a journal. One of my favorite things to do before I go to bed at night is I have a little journal there and I just call it my dump journal. And sometimes it's things that I just need to get off of my mind so that I can have a peaceful sleep. Or maybe there's things that I'm thinking about that need to be done tomorrow. Maybe in your journal, you can write things like how you really feel. Maybe you feel like you've been misguided or misjudged, or maybe you want to change the way that things have been going. And the best way to do that is to be able to put it out on paper so that you can reflect back on it and see what it is you want. And then I think one of the most important things, whether it's raining, snow, sunshine, whatever it is to get outside, to really just get grounded. You heard me say that one of my favorite places to go is our canyon. And it's because I get my shoes off, I get my feet in the dirt, and I just feel so connected to the earth. And it is such a great place to just let go and release everything that has been, gathered up emotionally or anything else, and just pause, take those deep breaths, and reflect.
All right. So a good thing that you can do is you can just come up with a 15-minute morning routine. And here's a list of ideas for you. Get up, make your bed. Um, Personally, for me, I get balance on the bottoms of my feet first thing. I drink some water. Um, so you'll want to figure out what works best for you. All right. And I was going to say something. Oh, I was going to say, never mind. So I lost my train of thought. All right, so citrus in your water because it's going to help cleanse your body. And then as you go throughout your day, think about how you can incorporate the essential oils to help your mood and your mindset. Listen to positive things, all of those. Also, another thing that I do first thing in the morning is I take all my supplements. And if we have whole classes on this. We can do a deep dive another time on this. But if we're not giving our bodies that foundational wellness that we need, that foundational, yeah, advantage, I'm going to call it for lack of a better term, then we're not supporting our body. And then we can add essential oils in there, like we said. Melissa is a great one. It is the oil of light. So if you're dealing with things that might be like things that are really getting to you, you can take that. You can put a drop of it on the roof of your mouth. Bergamot, breathe, all of those essential oils that we've mentioned. Pick what works for you. I'd like to challenge you too, is if you are experiencing something, I'd like for you to journal about it, talk about things that are going on in your journal, and then add that essential oil and see how it makes a difference, and then journal about that. So just a thought.
Good, really good. Okay, so we can't go on without talking about our foundational wellness. So many things that are happening to us get digested, if you will, in our guts. And so having a really good omega is extremely important. It not only helps with our cognitive function, but it also helps with our mind and our mood. When we're lacking in minerals and vitamins and greens and nutrition, we can't possibly show up as our best selves because our bodies have to pull from something. And being able to have these three items are in our house, it's a must have, non-negotiable. Every one of us start with our morning with a VMG packet. It is whole food nutrients, it's bioavailable and bioretentive, which means that your body can take those nutrients for up to 8 hours or more and still utilize them into what do I need right now. Like if it's halfway through the day, your body's still able to absorb some of that nutrients, which there's nothing else on the market that has that technology or that bioavailable retentiveness. Our omegas, you guys, we source them from the Nordic seas where the water is so crystal clear. There is nothing in there. And as I was at our lake this last weekend and I'm looking, I'm going, gosh, you can actually see the bottom of the lake for the first foot. After that, it's all murky and gross and dirty. I mean, where are the fish oils coming from that people are used to? Another thing that I absolutely love about our products is they are powered by essential oils. There is no other supplements on the market that are powered with essential oils, and they actually are the drivers. Think of the key. If you don't have the key to start your car, you can have all kinds of fuel in there, and those essential oils are that key that gets our motor going. And so being able to absorb them also, so that bioavailability is really crucial. One other fun fact about our omega is if you've taken a fish oil and you've burped up and it tastes fishy and gross, the chances are that it's rancid and it's not good for you anyway. If any experience, we actually take our omegas. One of the ways I love to take mine is I just pop the whole capsule in my mouth and I chew it up, almost like a little gummy. What I love about that is it's getting directly into my brain for my brain support and then goes to my heart. I also take a couple of them and I swallow them so that they'll utilize their benefits through my body. You guys, this wellness packet is something that if you haven't already started, I highly recommend it. We have some really great opportunities for you guys that when you buy a bundle, which are all the kits that are shown on the bottom, doTERRA gives you a thank you gift, and that is a shaker bottle and a 5 ml bottle of peppermint because everybody needs a little bit of mint in their life. Peppermint is, I mean, we could probably go on for at least 5 or 10 minutes talking just about benefits from peppermint. But I'm going to talk about the shaker bottle also. Is what I do is, once I get up in the morning and I put the balance on my feet and I do my meditation and everything, the next thing that happens is I go into my bathroom and I put a few oils on my face and then I go over to my shaker bottle and I put water in. I shake up that green and I get it into my body right away because I want to give it the best start possible first thing in the morning. And I know that with how busy I am, and maybe you're the same as me, is sometimes I'm like known to just grab something on the run. Well, with this, I know I'm at least getting some vitamins, minerals, and all of those vegetables and fruits without doing any kind of chopping or, nothing goes rotten in my refrigerator or any of that. It's all shake and go, and I'm ready. And you guys, it's amazing. So make sure you look into that and reach out to the person who invited you here to make sure you can buy it at the very best uh, price. We have rewards. So doTERRA wants to say thank you. And they reward us every single month when we use their rewards program. You can see on the left-hand side here, you can save anywhere from 10% up to 30% in points that you get back for every time you purchase with doTERRA. Now, the first time that you have a rewards order that ships that's 100 PV, you get that really great little sample kit. Now, I don't know about you, but when I go to Costco, 90% of the time I buy the things that I sample. And this is the same thing is I also like to try it before I buy it because I don't want to buy a whole bunch of something and have it sit in the cupboard or not use it at all. And so I'd love that you have the opportunity to try some of doTERRA's most ordered products. They also do a thank you. And if your order ships on or before the 15th, you can earn a free 5 ml bottle. Now, pictured on the very bottom of the screen on the left-hand side are their top selling essential oils. Everything from frankincense, adaptive, breathe, digestin. I mean, you guys can see them and you'll be able to get those. And why doTERRA does it this way is because we want you to be able to have in your household what you need. And they want to say thanks by giving you something that we know you're going to use. Then we also have a VIP program where once you've been with doTERRA using their rewards program for a year, then you have extra special promotions where you can buy limited time products before anyone else. Another really great thing here is if they run low on stock and you've got something like Terrazyme in your cart, guess who gets it? the person who's on rewards gets it and it stays in their cart, where other people who are just shopping when they want to randomly, they don't have that opportunity. So I love being a VIP with doTERRA. Okay, so refer a friend is one of my favorite things, you guys, because just like going to Costco, right? It's like I get a great pair of shoes, I go there, I buy it, I tell my friends go there, they buy it. And so we live in a world where people want to get referrals. Like if you've used something and you love it and you tell me, I love that I can trust you and I want to be able to do that. Now, bonus here is that every single person who has a doTERRA account has the ability to refer a friend. You can see on the left-hand side at the top of the screen, when you log into your office, this is going to pop up. So all you would do is copy that link and you could share it with anybody, anywhere. And if they go in and say Deep Blue is your thing and everybody you know needs to have it, well, when you share that, then you get rewards points back for them. They're doTERRA dollars that you can spend any way you want. Diane, you want to talk about this?
Oh yeah, I'm super excited about this. So we have a sale coming in 2 days, and April 17th through the 25th, as long as supplies last. Okay, so if you see something on here that you absolutely love or you want to try, then get in there and order it. So all of these different things are going to be on sale. So we've got for overall well-being, we've got green mandarin. It's one of my all-time favorites. I'm a tea drinker extraordinaire, I'm going to say, and I make all kinds of different teas, and green mandarin's often in my little blends that I do. Tea tree, everyone needs to have that in their arsenal because it's antibacterial, antifungal, anti. Okay, it's great for everything. Then you got some amazing touches in there, Davana and jasmine. Jasmine, just like the flowers, it's great as a perfume. And then kumquat is a one of the citrus. Okay, so, and then we go into focus and clarity. We've got rosemary, super mint touch, wild orange, and laurel leaf. And then as we're moving into summer, we've got some great ones that you can use to help keep things that bug you off of you and to keep them from irritating you. So Terra Shield, citronella, and cedarwood. Then we talked about a couple of these, serenity and balance in particular, but these are really great for relaxation and for bedtime. But in addition to that, we've got lavender, which we could go on for hours talking about all the things we can use lavender for. And vetiver, extremely calming. And that's a really great one that can help you to relax at bedtime or any other time. And then some great ones for respiratory support, breathe respiratory drops and Ravensara. So then finally, and not least, is the digestive and metabolic health. So we've got Digest Zen coming in either a 5 mil or a 15 mil, ginger drops, the PB Assist stick packs, which are like little pixie sticks. So if you're not keen on swallowing pills, you can do those instead. They're pictured up there on the far right. It's like if you remember little pixie sticks when we were kids, they're just like that. And then peppermint, and then MetaPower Advantage, which is our award-winning collagen. So super excited about all of these.
So a couple of things as I want you guys to notice that there's like 5 or 6 oils on here that you can't buy. They're not on the list to order. And so this would be your only chance to be able to get them unless it's in some kind of a promotion coming up. And it is 20% off the wholesale price. So you guys, that's like saving 45% off of retail. And so who doesn't love to save? And so if you know people who are, looking for, to get started or to buy and stock up on some of the bedtime oils for kids or respiratory stuff, now would be a great time to reach out to them. And as far as I know, you'll be able to use that referral link the day of. You just be able to put that in the cart or give them your link and they can go on and purchase. Really, really excited about this. So set your alarms. It is limited to 2 each per supplement and then 4 each per oil while supplies last. And there will definitely be some of these that sell out quickly, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. Okay, you guys, thank you for joining us tonight. I know it was a lot of information. That's why we also make these recordings available for you guys. You can go to our YouTube channel, which is at Haley B Essentials. 4277. And then also, if you're not receiving our text reminders, it's the only way to go. It's like if you're, I mean, I'm one who 10 minutes before something, I can get distracted and then I'm late. And so if you text the word class reminders to the phone number 534-429-5392, you will receive a link with a Zoom 15-20 minutes before class starts. And the best part about this is if you miss class on Wednesday, we send out the recording. And so at a finger touch, you have everything that you need. Next week, we're going to be talking about spa products. How to create a really great place that you love to be. Also, we'll be talking about Aroma Touch and Symphony of the Cells. I know there's quite a few of us on here who absolutely love those techniques, and welcome you guys to come and learn more about that so you can know what to do with your household. All right, so I don't know if it's I wish that on the recording to show everybody who's joined this for class because it's so much fun to see everybody here. We're going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then we'll see if we have any questions or any testimonials. So let me go ahead and stop that. See you guys next time.